Hi, Beardos. Joe here, and we can't come to the phone right now because, well, we don't want to. So, leave us a message right here, and we will listen to it as soon as we feel like it. Bye!
Hey, boys. It's Aaron. Sorry, I'm eating an orange because I am currently sequestered to my hotel room in Grand Rapids, Michigan because your boy got COVID for a third time. Hooray. And I was pressured by y'all to leave a voicemail. So here I am leaving a voicemail, even though I know that you are currently recording and you could have answered the phone, Jay, but have chosen not to. So that is why I'm leaving this voicemail. Feel free to use it on the podcast whenever. You can backdate it for, I don't know. I'm tired. And I don't know. I don't know where this voicemail is going. Yeah, so sure. I don't know. Bye.
You've reached the Beards and Sundries podcast, where things get gay, and hilarious. You've made it past seasons 1, 2, and 3. Now, you've reached season 4, the hottest season yet. This season's gonna be the tits. Now, sit down, strap on, in, and get ready to laugh your asses off with your 3 bearded hosts because they've been waiting all week to get you hot for this show. Now, welcome your hosts, Jay, Anthony, and Joe.
And welcome back.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome back to Season 4, Episode 4 of Beards and Sundries.
Crikey.
I think it's just going to devolve all season.
It's going to be such a mess, and I'm excited.
Probably. That's right, guys. It's time for another lunch break here at Beards and Sundries, the shop where 3 gay men with beards do inventory on a new sundry in each episode.
My name is Jay, and I have a first-class taste, but on whatever's below main cabin budget.
Steerage.
I'm rowing the boat. I'm kicking the plane into the sky.
It's just
Flintstone style. Yabba dabba doo, launch.
I'm Anthony, and I'm an international nasty girl.
I fucking hate you.
903, back on the plane.
Destroy the dongs.
And I'm Joe, and unlike a certain psychopath I know, I always aim to get to the airport about 2 hours before my departure.
I'm a psychopath.
Today's sundry item is travel. That's right, Beardos. We're big fans of vacation and travel, especially if it means even the quickest escape from the daily dystopian struggles of capitalism. Today, we're going to chat about some places that we've been, some places we'd love to see, and even some trips that we have planned for this year. Later on, we have a thrilling travel story courtesy of one of our very own Beardos. We'll check in on the construction of the 2024 bingo card, and Jay has a homebrewed concoction for game time this week. But before we get too far into it, how about this week's voicemail?
Aaron, I need you to know that no matter if I know you or not, I'm a millennial and I do not answer phone calls.
To be very fair to us, and not you, Aaron, you called me, you FaceTimed me minutes before we started recording. Literal, like, a handful of minutes. Less than I can count on one hand. And I answered that fucking call.
Mm-hmm. We don't answer the store phone. We've told you all this before.
Mm-hmm. But I answered your phone call. And we sat here and we chatted. We delayed recording for you.
Oh, and thank
Yeah.
you for not being in the bathroom.
This time. But it's because we love you so much and we appreciate you.
That's a different podcast.
Shithose is showing and everything.
Oh, good God. Season 4,
I
the
think
season of shithose.
I think as of today, I saw that he was over COVID, and so he's back out and about. So good for you. I'm glad that you're feeling better. Or I don't know that he was even sick, but he's not, stuck in his hotel room anymore, which sucks.
Yeah.
No. Because it's always when you're told you can't do anything, it's when you suddenly want to do everything.
Yeah.
It's the American way.
Well, then it also sucks because he's always traveling for work, and so it's not like he's at his house. He's stuck in a hotel room.
Yeah. How fun.
Anyways, thanks for leaving the voicemail, though.
Yeah,
even
thank
though we
you.
didn't pressure you at all, we didn't even
Never.
ask you to. We would never do that.
Now I gotta figure out who will pressure next. I walk back behind them in the store and I have a gun in their back. And I'm like, you better call the hotline.
We're never going to answer.
God. Anyways, sorry, I've got something in my throat for some reason. Anyways, before we get, yeah, probably so. Anyways, before we get too out of hand, Joe, can I find the sunscreen and some head on in the sundries aisle?
It's PF69, applied directly to your head. But if you guys are new to the show and you're wondering just what the hell a sundry is, the term comes from an Old English word meaning odds and ends. Now, today it's used mainly in retail for items that don't typically have a group of their own. So, as three very well-traveled gay men with beards, we are using the term to group together the wide range of topics that we cover.
Wow.
Well-traveled.
I don't know if
you
I
slut.
say that I'm well-traveled. Oh, you mean with guys.
Oh,
well, then,
No,
That
I
kind of
meant
mileage.
traveling.
yeah. Oh.
Well,
I don't
then
know
now
about that.
now I'm confused.
I mean, unlike Anthony's first car, I make sure to change my oil before my mileage gets too high.
Hey. Nobody taught me anything. I didn't know.
I take care of my thunder chicken.
That
Actually reminds me of a TikTok I just saw where it was a guy going, I don't have a dad, so we're lonely. And I don't even remember what it was, but it just reminded me of exactly what you're saying. Because he's like, we're lonely and we don't know what we're doing.
But I had a dad. I still have a dad.
Well, sorry.
technically. He was just too busy to teach me about oil.
And back then you actually had to use Google and figure it out. And
You
not
couldn't
as
use
easy as
Google.
today.
We didn't have anything. We had dial-up. It was awful.
yeah, Google existed.
No, I had to ask Jeeves.
Well, that's because you're behind the times.
It's because
He's behind something.
Anyways, are we
the
talking about
shitholes.
traveling?
Yeah.
I wasn't
Well-
traveling anywhere in that car.
Let's kick it off. I thought it would be fun to start off by talking about Colorado because the three of us have all been there, and I think the three of us all agree that it's very nice.
I love
have
Colorado.
been itching to get back to Colorado.
Yeah, same.
Absolutely 100%. It has been under my skin for weeks now.
Oh, ever since you talked about that cabin, Jay, I've just been like, oh my god, I gotta get back to Colorado.
I know.
Sorry.
I just want to...
I gave you the travel herpes.
I don't remember who it was that I was showing Estes Park to, but I was telling them, you need to get to Estes Park, Colorado. Get to
Oh my
Colorado,
God, I
but
love
get to
Estes
Estes Park. Oh, it's so gorgeous. It's just beautiful.
We went there once, and there's a big sign that overlooks, it's like a big photo op that does a scenic overlook of the town of Estes Park, and it says Estes Park on a big stone sign, and Anthony and I took a picture in front of it. We sent it to my parents, and my dad texted back and he said, oh, where's the T in front of Estes to make Testes Park? And I was like, god damn, that's funny. Damn.
It is gorgeous, though. You drive up from, if you're going through Denver, then you drive up through Boulder, and then you got to stop by the John Bonet house 7 times for Joe. Is that for everybody, or is that just us?
I think it's a Joe thing because I've never been there.
And then as you're driving up, I think through like Lamont and then Lyons, and then you go up this mountain, and it is just like there's no service between the base and getting up to Estes Park. But once you get up there, you pull over this hill, and it opens up into this valley right in front of Rocky Mountain National Park. And holy shit, it's gorgeous.
It's beautiful.
I want to take a hot moment to go back to the John Bonet Ramsey house situation. And I want to know, when Joe gets out of the car, does he like touch the house and he goes, "We're trying to find out what happened to you"? And like,
okay, I'm going to stop you right there. Did not get out of the car. It was too cold and it was snowing.
Oh.
Just drove by, got some pictures.
He's just pressed against the car window, breathing on it. And he's like,
A little bit, yeah.
Well, it's weird because you would think, growing up, I always thought that, like, families like that lived in these big, sprawling subdivisions where it was, like, Texas style, where there's huge plots of land, giant McMansions all spread out.
Nope.
It's a really compact neighborhood. The houses are very close together. The lots are small. The streets are very narrow. So it's not really a big mansion-type house looking at it from the front. It's very unassuming. A lot of it sprawls back towards the back of the lot. Kind of like the Amityville Horror House, if you guys are familiar with that.
That's what I was about to say, is it reminds me so much of the Amityville Horror House.
Mm-hmm. It's very New England style in the way the neighborhood's laid out. And it's hilly because, of course, it's in Colorado, in suburban Denver. But no, we didn't get out of the car, and it wasn't really like... It's not really like a tourist attraction because it really actually is just someone's house. It's just known for this terrible crime that happened there. So it's cool and like fun and interesting to visit, but it's not really like a museum or attraction kind of thing. So it's not really like a destination, honestly. It's just something to drive by and look at.
Yeah, I just figured that this family would be sitting in front of their big window, like reading the paper by the fireplace, and then you are just like touching the brick by the window and...
With the ransom
What happened to you, John Bonet Ramsey?
I have my own theories, but that's for a different episode.
I was going to say we should do like a true crime episode.
We should like go find unsolved mysteries and come up with our own conclusions.
Everyone's fucking sucking the dick of true crime podcast still, right? Like that's the whole thing.
We can all
still
invent our
popular.
own story, find our own background music, and make it a real good 3-part series.
Imagine with me, if you will.
Ugh. Sarah Koenig.
And I'm Sarah Can of Coke.
I will never forget the SNL skit on that.
I love that SNL skit.
Santa Claus.
Now, Jacob, did you tell the other elves that Chris was magic? No, I did not.
No, ma'am.
You never. Not ever. No, ma'am. God. And she does it perfectly.
She does it so great.
But Boulder is really pretty. It's actually a very well-to-do suburb of Denver. You drive it, it's like northwestern Denver, and you drive through it on the way to Estes Park up to the mountains. So it is a really pretty drive because, Denver itself is really nice. It's just the fucking drive getting there is so awful.
That drive from Oklahoma City and Tulsa to Denver is just...
I-70 is so
torture.
Boring.
There's so much Kansas. And then you get to Colorado.
And
then
more
you're like,
Kansas.
yay. But it's more fucking Kansas.
I mean, you are in Colorado for, 3 hours? Or is it 2 hours before you actually start?
You got to
like
drive
that.
through half the state before you ever get to, see the mountains.
And
You're
you
almost
aren't on
to
any
Denver
hills.
before it gets any kind of interesting.
Yeah. You're basically hitting the edge of Denver, and then suddenly you're like, oh my god, I can see mountains, and...
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Denver, isn't in the mountains. It abuts the mountains. It's not... you can see them. There's scenery there, so that's nice, but it's not like it's in a mountain.
Yeah, you're in Oklahoma City, and then all of a sudden it's mountains right outside of it. But that's it.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
Which is way better than Oklahoma City.
Which is substantially better than Oklahoma City, because I don't know, it's not Oklahoma City or Oklahoma at all. They probably have reflective lines. I don't remember.
But yeah, Colorado, gorgeous. We've thought about relocating there a couple times, but I think it's just out of our range price wise, and I don't know if I want to live in a higher altitude like that and dealing with all the like changes to like oven instructions. Oddly enough, that's such a weird thing. But yeah, Colorado basically is just like I think we'll just visit from here on out, and we're probably not going to move there.
Yeah, we'll see. There's a lot of life left.
Yeah, that's.
I would
Jay, you had
still love
a
it.
job opportunity there that was a possibility for a second, right?
Yeah, I had a couple opportunities up there. One of them didn't really pan out really. The other one, like, they were ready to hire me, but they were basically hiring me as a lateral move from what I currently do with no real growth opportunity. And my pay was almost going up, but I, like, went through the calculator and I said, you have to meet this price before I'll do it. And they're like, we can do that. And then I was like, well, beyond that, what's my growth? And they're like, well, this position doesn't really have much beyond this. And I was like, well, then what is my point?
Yeah, it's
I
one of
have
the small
years ahead of me.
It's one of the small perks about Oklahoma is the cost of living is very low compared to
Jay.
a lot of other places.
2 years.
2 years left, according to my cardiologist. No, I'm kidding.
He could go any second. He's about to blow.
Pretty
A
much.
guy.
That's So, have you guys done any international traveling before besides a cruise ship?
No, I haven't.
Because
Not Canada.
Oh, wait, we have been to Canada.
yeah, that's one I need to hit because I'm just like,
Okay.
it's so convenient. I need to go there because all of my international is solely just cruise.
And when I say Canada, I mean like the
Niagara
outskirts
Falls.
of like basically.
Yeah,
So,
I was
like,
going to say it's
Branson,
Niagara
Missouri.
Falls.
Yeah, you're basically going to Branson, Missouri, but with Canadian license plates. But no, we haven't done any international besides, like Cozumel, Cayman Islands, Jamaica, just off of a cruise ship.
Yeah.
I've thought about doing we almost thought about doing the UK for our honeymoon, but it never worked out. And then we've talked about doing Iceland or Reykjavik because there
I'd love to
are
go to
some
Iceland.
reasonable flights that go from JFK to Reykjavik, but it just hasn't happened or anything like that.
I talked about doing London this year, and then the more and more I look at it, the more I'm like, well, maybe I should hold off a little bit because I just spontaneously booked that cruise over Easter.
Yeah,
And
we've got a
I would
little
like-
too much travel booked this year to think about international travel.
I would like to go with my boyfriend,
Here.
and he has less vacation opportunity right now as I do, and so I don't want to just sit here and try and book up every ounce of vacation that he can offer, because I'm like, you also have a life of, visiting family, so I have to be cautious on that.
Kind of where we're at too. I'm at a point with my company where I have 4 weeks PTO every year, and then I have a week that's rolling over. So I essentially will have 5. I think it's either 4 or 5, but I'll have more opportunities than Anthony. So basically, I'm just looking at things and thinking hey, can you make this happen? If I want to make this happen for us, and then so that's kind of where we're kind of meeting in the middle with it and kind of planning what we can do trip wise.
And I'm at work right now.
Well, and that's also
You're on
kind of
break.
what I do is I book long weekends. So a lot of times I'll be like, all right, I know you have this Friday off. I'll take this Friday off. And then I'll also take the Monday off so I can recover. And so I'll burn vacation and allow us to do Thursday through Sunday trips or something like that. That's how we did New York.
Oh yeah, I use my 2 days off as abutments all the time whenever I'm using blocks of travel.
I
then-
really need to see if I can do remote work whenever we travel like that. If maybe that's an option for me to just not really be off, but work from wherever we're at for a few days.
And I know that I can do remote. I just don't know. I don't know how I can sway it and be like, oh, I'm going to go on this trip, but I'll do remote work a couple days. I think they allow it now, but we pretend that we're really getting loosey-goosey on this, but then it still has this weird tension about it. So I'm just like, okay, whatever.
I know. That's kind of where we're at with it too, so I get it.
Because we
Called
just had...
shareholders, guys.
Exactly. We just had a ice day the day before this on recording, and I got to work from home, and I was like, I ain't gonna drive out in that. Just tough shit.
Oh, yeah. My boss actually texted me the night before and was like, hey, just so you know, I'm not going in tomorrow. And I was like, yeah, me fucking either.
Yeah, my boss texted us, and she was like, don't come in tomorrow, and then, as the day progresses, just reevaluate it. And it like came up around noon, and I'm like, I still slept on my patio, so no.
Even then, like, why would I go in? I'm already starting to work here. Like, I don't want to uproot my whole office situation, go to work, and then, like, be there. It just doesn't make sense.
I'm not going to get dressed when I could work in sweatpants.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, like, I can just continue to be here and work. Like, there's nothing keeping me from doing that.
Right. Which,
and
I think
work better at my house.
I get her side of it, because what was happening was basically it seemed like it was just going to be icy right up front, and then within like 8 o'clock it was going to be fine. And then all of a sudden it was going to get a lot better, which I understood that. But by the time 9 o'clock rolled around and they're still bitching about the roads on the news, I'm like, I'm already wiping out the idea that I'm ever going to go into work today.
Yeah. Which I get. I don't know. I don't get the mentality of showing up to an office just because we have an office, if that makes sense.
I do, from the people who own the building, because they have to pay for it, and they're like, we're going to make it worth it. That's the only reason I understand it somewhat.
Okay, I get it on your end. I don't get it as much from where I'm at, because, like...
That's true.
The building is sort of multi-purpose, so even if I'm not there, it's not like nobody's there.
That's
People
true.
have to show up to that building. It's just that
Yeah.
I don't really have any work that requires me to be on site.
Exactly, yeah. We're definitely different scenarios there. I am one tall corporate office building, and that's it.
Yep.
Speaking of, side note, they edited that super tall building they want to build to be the tallest building in the United States. They put a spire on it.
I hope so bad that they do this. I want them to do it now. It's like a challenge to God.
Because it's going to be twice as high as our tallest. It's going to be over twice as high. I think our tallest building right now is like 880 feet or something like that. And this one would be 19 or 1800 feet tall. And so it's over twice the size of our tallest building downtown.
I'm just imagining that somebody somewhere was like, how can we make Oklahoma even better? And just some guy they were like tossing around ideas in the office, and some guy was like, you guys, you're overlooking the easiest way to make it better. Put a dick on it.
A giant dick that definitely won't be bait for every tornado this spring.
And the top kind of opens up like this, and they're like, and that is the ass. Because it's kind of a V shape. God. Sorry. I know I got off topic on that, but it just, we talked about office buildings.
In general, but I
Surprise.
cannot wait. So you guys, if this happens, I highly recommend traveling to Oklahoma during tornado season, so you could just see, maybe you'll get to watch the tallest building in the U.S. just get blown away.
Yeah. I mean, hell, I was having drinks at a bar one time when severe weather was moving in, and there were people from, I don't remember where. I think one person was from out of country, and he's sitting at the bar and he goes, so what do you guys do during a tornado? And I was like, are you wanting the responsible answer or not? And he goes, what about both? And I said, well, mostly people just go outside and watch it. And I said, but if you actually have to get away from it, then you just go underground. And then I was like, seriously, if you're concerned, you go down that hallway and there's a basement full of tunnels in Oklahoma City downtown. Mm-hmm. But otherwise, grab a beer, hop on outside on the curb. Yeah, get on the porch.
And if you
So we've talked about Colorado a little bit. Let's go a little further west. What about Las Vegas? All three of us have been there.
Yeah, we had a whole episode
about
that
I really want to like. Yeah, I don't really care. I mean, it's fun for like 2 days.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, it's not a place you go for a week. It's not a place you take the whole family for a reunion. It's not like I wouldn't have gone to F1 there, that's for fucking sure. That was a huge waste of money. But it's kind of like a, I don't know, one and done kind of thing, in my opinion.
For me, I experienced it. fantastic time.
That's how I feel too.
If I don't go back, I won't be butthurt about it. But I guess if another group of people want to go to Vegas for an event, I'll be like, sure. It's just 2 days, right?
Yeah, that's how I feel about it too.
I guess the allure before was that, like, a lot of the country was a little puritanical. Not that we're not still a little puritanical in a lot of places, but all of the rules there are so loose. So I guess you could go get fucking plastered, get cocaine from a whore on the street, and then pay for said whore. Thank you. I'll be $500 an hour. And then it's just a whole, I guess, just getting yourself fucking blitzed for several days. And I don't think our generation quite sees as much of the appeal in that when we travel.
Well, I think our generation
I think you're
sees
right.
the appeal of getting drunk and spending money, but I can get blitzed at my house and Amazon
Right.
shop
Money.
excessively for substantially
Yeah.
less. I mean,
Right.
how do you think I started getting electric blinds? I got drunk at my house and measured the space for it. Bought my first one, and now I'm like,
computer?
well, I love these so much.
The iMac he is currently on, Beardos, drunk purchase.
Oh my god, this was yeah, I got a Mac desktop and it was absolutely a drunk purchase after my breakup, and it was solely me drinking on the couch during an ice storm, and I said, because it was shortly after my ex and I broke up, and I was like, I can have all the things we had all by myself. I can take care of myself. Boop, 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 purchase. The next morning I woke up sober
about it.
and I was like, this... should you return it? And then I was like, no, you're going to commit.
Here we are now.
We started a podcast to pay for it. It's going badly.
We started a podcast to make it worth it. And so far, I have paid 0% of it off with the podcast.
Yep.
Me
In fact,
either.
it is
I bought a new
incurred
computer for
expenses.
it too.
I didn't buy my computer for the podcast. I bought it for myself for writing purposes after I quit work and for gaming. And in half of that, well, I've been successful in writing, just not, making any money off of it. Oh, you know what? I've made money off writing. I have made money off writing, just not enough to, pay for the computer.
So on that note, we are taking donations and
Find us on Only Enemies.
find us on OnlyFans and we're only showing our ankles or our like just a little bit of belly roll.
It's puritanical porn.
It's pure. There's this priest. He's like, look at that slut.
Ankle showing. Of course, it's halfway undone. Joe is really trying to stay on topic and task this week.
Thought we could, because we got stuff after the break too. So
Anyways.
then, okay, so moving on to another area that we've all been to that is a little easier for a quicker getaway. How about Dallas? I like Dallas a lot.
Yeah,
I like it. It's fun to go for like a weekend.
it's
It
fine.
is.
Yeah,
Yeah, just like
Good
a couple.
to me,
getaway.
it almost feels like Oklahoma City, just with more traffic.
Bigger.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just different places.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
so.
I like the gay bar scene a lot there.
Their
That's true.
gay
The gay bar
district
scene
is
really
substantially
nice.
better.
Yeah,
I do understand that, and I know my boyfriend.
They have Buc-ee's.
Loves Dallas, so I respect that completely. I don't idolize it. I have no reason to idolize it. I feel like I can go anywhere.
I think it's one of those things where, like, I do like to go to the gay district because there are shops there that are gear shops that you can actually try things on
Yeah.
at. And if you're not really doing that or into that, like, that's kind of not anything that you'd go for. But I will go and I will shop for things and look.
Yeah.
There are a lot of great restaurants there that I like a lot.
Dallas Grilled Cheese Company.
Oh, yeah, that one is pretty good.
Yep. Yeah, I like it. It's a fun little, like, getaway from here just because it's so
Yeah.
close.
Yeah, it's a nice, easy drive. It is a boring drive at times, but it is a very easy drive. You just
Yeah.
south.
But
Yeah.
within a little less driving distance of that for Joe and I prefer going up to Eureka Springs if we've got a few days.
Oh, yeah. Eureka Springs is a nice getaway. It's very mountainous, which is a little different for this part of the country because you're just traveling over to northern Arkansas. It's a nice, easy, calm drive, and it's a very inclusive city, or town, I guess you could call it, a little village. A lot of fun, eclectic shops. A lot of people have retired there and made a whole scene there. And it's just a lot of fun to visit, walk around. It's a very walkable little town with lots of hills and great photo ops, and it's just a really great place to visit.
And one of my friends obsesses over Santa Fe, New Mexico, which I've still yet to go. And he says the same thing. Lots of shopping, lots of cool stuff there. And I keep meaning to go. I just haven't been
That
yet.
makes sense.
And
I
I
could
feel
see
like
it.
there's a place I'd go if I like turquoise more.
oh my God. I hate how much I understand that exact thing.
Yep.
That's just exactly what goes in my head there. Yeah. I think the only other place that, New York. I shockingly actually love that, and I would go back to that.
I figured you would.
The more I think back, the more I'm like, once I adjusted to it, and definitely once we weren't in like the touristy areas of like Broadway and all that stuff, fucking really enjoyed that. So I would do that
That's
again.
That's why I always thought, Jay, that you would do well, like somewhere in the country that's kind of like suburban, not New Jersey, but like suburban Philadelphia, like the outskirts of the city, because then you could go into the city and go to like shows or dinner or something. Like, so every time I see a movie where it's like set right outside of the city and then they go into the city for something, I always think that like that would be perfect for you because you
and that's
going in and not being among the hustle and bustle all the time, but like going to see it.
That's kind of how I live now. I'm like on the very edge of the city, but I'm always in the city. Like I'm always down there doing something, but then I get home and I enjoy my little quiet space out here.
Right.
With a garage and parking.
Obviously.
Yes.
Conveniences.
I am a millennial who hates to find parking.
One place that we traveled to that I was really surprised about was Chicago. How much I really enjoyed being in Chicago.
I would like to go
get
back
that.
and experience it better. I only was there for a few hours in a day.
Yeah, we were only there a couple of days, but we got to do a few like key things that we really wanted to do, and I don't know, I just felt like the city was not what I expected.
Yeah, it was pretty neat.
And it's right on the lake, the giant big ass lake, so that has like beach, and you know, we were there when it was February, so it was 4 degrees outside, so it was frigid,
Negative
and it
4
really is
degrees.
the windy city. Yeah, -4. But yeah, it is. There's a lot to do there. There's a lot to see. It's just I get hung up on that crime statistic all the time, which I know is propaganda to an extent, but it just comes back to where I don't want to live in a giant big city like that because I just don't want to be among it all the time, and I don't want to be in some teeny tiny cramped little space that is not necessarily dirty, but like overpriced and just not worth it when I know I can get more bang for my buck out in the suburbs instead.
I will shockingly admit that if you go an hour and a half north, Milwaukee, middle of summer, it's fantastic. It's very pretty. It's
haven't
very
done Milwaukee
comfortable.
yet.
There's a lot to do in Milwaukee. It's bigger than I ever knew it was. I actually really enjoy it up there. It kind of annoyed me that my ex moved up there because now I'm like, well, now I don't want to go back because my luck would be we would literally run into each other and I'm just like, God damn it.
First day. Yep. Oh,
100%.
you.
That's just my luck.
Yeah,
And I'm like, I just don't want to.
let's just. Yeah, I get that. I was gonna say because, like, I don't think there'd be anything to be scared of. Yeah, Detective Fierce.
There's
by your
literally
side.
no like concern of being like, oh, I don't want to see him. Like, I'd hate to interact with him. It's not that. It's just I genuinely have no interest in seeing him.
It's kind of like my ex lives in New Orleans, and so I'm like, I don't really want to go to. I've never been, but like, It feels like a place that's big enough that you shouldn't run into each other, but small enough that you will.
But yeah, and it's just like I have no interest, so I don't want to play the game of oh hey
How
so
are
good to see
you?
How are you? Because I'm just like I don't care.
Fantastic.
It's not
What
worth
are
the
you
energy
up to these days?
that I
Yeah.
don't care about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just like I genuinely have just no interest. Like 24 hours after the breakup, I was just like, bye.
Have a
'Cause
great day.
Yeah, we'd grown apart so much in the last few years, and yeah, I just don't harbor anything that makes me want to stay connected.
Yeah.
Well,
I get
then
that.
it's great that you mentioned somewhere in those Midwest states because Anthony and I do really enjoy Minneapolis, St. Paul a lot more than we thought we would.
Yeah,
Yes,
Especially in
for
the
sure.
past couple of years, for sure.
It's
We're going back
wild.
at the end of May for a 10-day visit.
Yes, I'm so excited.
Yes.
We get Brugger's every morning.
You said you have like little trips to Minneapolis planned. Do you have anything else planned?
So I actually just got this approved at work. So this is breaking news on the pod, everybody. The number 5. No, I'm just kidding. But luckily, we're not flying Alaska Air, so the plane should stay together. But we're going the opposite direction.
Don't assume.
So, for my birthday this year, I actually blocked off the time from March 4th to March 11th. Because I have some time at work in my vacation bank, and if I don't use 40 hours of it before March 11th, I'm going to lose it. So instead of that, I'm going to use it. And we are flying down to Orlando and then Florida in general to see my family for my actual birthday on March 9th for... I can't even tell you the last time I celebrated my actual birthday with my family. So
It hasn't
we're going to
been
go down.
since we've been together.
Yeah, we're going to go down for a nice visit. My sister has a house in Orlando now, so she'll be right there near the airport. There are a lot of cool things in Orlando that we haven't experienced yet, all the times we've been there. I want to go to Hamburger Mary's for a show, want to do a couple things. We might go to Universal. We haven't really planned out what all we're going to do down there, but we are going to go see my parents, of course. We're going to do something for my birthday. But yeah, we're going to go see my family for my birthday in March.
Very nice. That's going to be a good trip.
Do you
Yes,
have
it
anything
will.
planned, Jay?
Yeah, I actually have to burn like 3 weeks, a little over 3 weeks before June 1st, which you think that's pretty far away, and it's not when you start looking at a calendar of work days.
No.
And so I booked a cruise that leaves on Easter Day from Galveston because I just needed something spontaneous. I know my friends that live a mile from me have been wanting to go on a cruise with me again, and so I was like, okay, it's in between this time frame. If you guys can do it, let's book one. And so, because one of them's actually studying something in school right now, we were very limited on when we could go. And so this weekend that he specified, I was able to find a cruise with Royal Caribbean on their Harmony of the Seas that I'm very excited for. So
Cool.
I ended up going from I have all this time to being crunched down to 1 week that I could plan a cruise in the next like 5 months. And so I managed to find a good one. We booked it, got an ocean view balcony, all that shit, blah, blah, blah. So I think
Nice.
as of now, since the Icon of the Seas came out, this is the 4th largest cruise ship in the world. So,
Wow.
and it is over double the size of the ship we were on last in 2022.
Jesus.
It's still
The
half
gross
the
tonnage.
size of Jay's ass.
Yeah.
With even less than half of the gross tonnage of Jay's ass.
This
Right.
dump truck ass.
Okay, well.
Someone commented, by the way, on I posted the video today of your little clip about taking the picture and getting a cramp. And somebody said, "Oh, no, not the cramp. That's the worst. I've been there before." And I said, "Well, what else can I do? It's hard to reach around this dump truck ass for a picture."
Well, and then I'm still planning what I'm going to do logistically for this one, but probably around October. West Virginia University is going to have their annual homecoming game, and I haven't been back to homecoming since, God, Anthony, what was it, 2014? 2015?
2015.
So we haven't been back to Morgantown since then. So I have made it my goal this year. I'm going to homecoming. I'm going to reunite with a lot of my color guard friends, a lot of my friends from college, and I have the time to burn. So I've even debated going up to Boston, flying into Boston and doing a little bit of a trip through Massachusetts, spending a couple days up there, and then driving down like through New York City, maybe through Philadelphia, getting a rental car, driving down to Morgantown, doing homecoming weekend through there, and then flying back from Pittsburgh on that Sunday. Maybe a week, maybe a week and a half. I haven't really sat down and looked at a roadmap of it yet, and it'll also get a lot easier when WVU actually announces their football schedule, because they haven't yet. But I'm going to look into doing a nice northeast trip for myself, because I haven't been back in nearly 10 years. So I'm going to make that happen this fall. And it'll be October. It's when the leaves start changing. It's when football gets really good for college football. So I think that'll be a lot of fun.
No, I haven't planned that far ahead.
And Beardo Catherine. I'll get to see Beardo Catherine.
Oh, you guys can keep working on the Beardo breakdown, whatever it is, beatdown.
And by that time, she'll either be Beardo Catherine or she'll be What's Her Tits. So we'll see.
Her tits? We'll find out.
We've got to schedule this real bad.
Yep.
Or it's just going to be this lingering joke for the rest of our lives.
No.
Imagine we go to Wisconsin for this. We're not traveling to Wisconsin for this throwdown. It's going to be remote. I'm sorry, girls.
Gotta
We're not
be.
doing
Oh my
it.
God.
Not until we start making money on this damn show.
I don't know. I could take you guys to Milwaukee and we could have this happen while we're eating a bunch of cheese curds.
We get off the plane to meet them, and your ex is standing behind them waiting for someone else. God damn it!
I'm like, motherfucker!
He's holding a sign, and it's literally like, Ray.
And I'm like, God damn! Oh, fuck!
No, not
Like,
Ray.
I throw my jacket over my head, and I'm like, guys, we got to go do this somewhere else.
Or he's waiting for, like, someone named JD. It's another JD.
Oh, God. That would be my life.
Or
He
even
dated
worse.
somebody else with the name Jay.
Even worse, we walk off the plane, and he's standing in between Catherine and Shanae, and they're both pointing at him like, hey, asshole.
Oh, God.
Or even worse, I get on the plane in Oklahoma City, and that is his connecting flight to Milwaukee. Seated next to me.
Even worse, we get on the plane, and he's the pilot.
He's not a
That's
pilot, just to be
improbable.
clear, but that would be my luck.
I was like, that doesn't seem very likely at all.
It doesn't. Unless?
Or you know, he could have become like a wow. My brain is now stuck in my new department. He could become a flight attendant. I almost said a data steward. And I'm like, what? But he could have become a flight attendant. And he's walking along and he's like, trash.
Trash.
That's just funny. I'd be like,
Oh, you got me.
got him.
But then to make everything better, somebody on the plane is like, oh my God, is that Jay, Joe, and Anthony from the Beards and Sundries podcast that's international?
Technically, that's true.
It leads me to we should probably go to our little break.
I was going to say, probably so.
I
So,
think
guys-
we're cruising towards a break.
When we get back, I'm going to tell you how we have become international with a story. You're listening to Jay, Anthony, and Joe on the Beards and Sundries podcast, the podcast rated 5 out of 6 balls. So, Anthony, since you're a bitch, do you want to hear this story?
Yeah, I guess
Sorry,
so.
I always have to say something rude to you, and I couldn't think of anything, so it just...
I was like,
I'm
wow, that
really
was
lazy.
Don't apologize for that.
just real lazy and aggressive.
Yeah, I just couldn't think of anything fast enough, so I was like, nah, fuck it. But anyways.
Hey, Jay,
so-
since you're a fat fuck, you want me to tell you a story about food?
Hey, still beats going to the airport.
Is it about soup? Because if so, I'd love to hear it.
Ooh, the
Hey,
onions
Jay,
and the garlic.
this story is nuts, but it's not for you because you only got one.
One.
Anyways, past your lazy transition, what's the story?
Okay, so thanks to Threads, we have been starting to reach more international people. And I recently have been talking with Philip from Cape Cod, South Africa.
Well, let's pull this
Hi,
thread and
Philip.
let the story unravel.
I was like, is it Cape Cod or Cape Town? I think I'm getting
It's
confused
Cape Town.
now that I think about it.
Cape
It's
Cod's
Cape Town.
Massachusetts, you stupid
I
bitch.
know. I was like, Cape Cod is
No, but
Massachusetts.
there's not a second Cape Cod.
Sorry,
I was sitting here
sorry.
thinking about it. I was like, that doesn't feel right.
Well, I know
Cape
is the
Town.
moment I finished it, I was like, that's wrong. Anyways, so what happened was he ended up like adding us and commenting from a post I made where I said, "Hey, Jay's booked a cruise recently. Does anybody like cruises? Tell me about your cruise experience." Philip came in with gold, and I want to read it to you. Because he told just a very brief glimpse of what happened. I said, please tell us more. So here is the story. In October 2019, me, 27 at the time, and family traveled to California from South Africa for a cousin's wedding. We decided, as part of the trip, to take a cruise as well. Cruise departed from LA and went to Mexico. It was a huge cruise with lots of activities and things happening. I saw there was a Friends of Dorothy gay meetup and decided to check it out. Family knew I was gay for several years at this point and have always been super supportive, so didn't feel like I had to hide anything.
I'm just imagining them saying, like, the heels aren't coming together because they're being spread apart. So there's definitely no place like home.
Oh, God. It was at the event that I met a group of older gays, 50s plus, that I really connected with. Very fun and easy to chat to. It was then that I found out that most, if not all of them, were involved in the adult entertainment industry. And the one I've been vibing with was, and I think still is, a gay porn director for Nasty Daddy. Let's call him D. The event was fun and would remain a constant throughout the journey. As that event wrapped up, I decided to hang with the group for a while longer and grew closer to D as the night went on. I think it was the second night after that he invited me to his cabin. It was a night I won't forget, but also won't recount, because the story is already too long. And so, started a week-long romance where I had to divide my time between this exciting group and my family. My family were aware of them, but only knew them as my fellow gay friends. They didn't know anything about the romance I was on. I went to the parties on the cruise with D, sometimes had dinner with him and the group. We even had our own date night where he told me he loved me, and I told him I loved him. For what it's worth, I was genuine with him. I even joined them when the cruise boat stopped at Puerto Vallarta, and we went to a bear party at one of the many venues I had up to this
Jay.
point. So,
Puerto Vallarta.
Let him keep.
is that how it's pronounced?
Yes.
I'm going to back up because I can't do that. Puerto Vallarta? I always
Vallarta.
mess these up. Vallarta.
It's where Dermy wanted to go and open up his new shop.
A very popular gay event called Beef Dip is happening there very soon.
I even joined them when the cruise boat stopped at Puerto Vallarta, and we went to a bear party at one of the many venues. I had up to this point no idea that PV was so extremely gay. It was at this party that a muscle bear couple fondled and made out with me in the pool, which D seemed to really enjoy observing. I'm leaving a lot out, but believe me when I say that this time in my life was absolutely beautifully insane.
I don't think there was a lot left out on him.
Sounds like it.
Shit, like this doesn't happen to me. I've always been quiet, shy, anxious, weird, and generally an acquired taste. I never felt that anyone would love me romantically for me. I still to this day have only had one proper relationship that only lasted 9 months. Ended by me because the relationship was very toxic. I've been on many dates, but nothing lasted more than 2 weeks. My confidence has been shot to bits time and time again, so to have this absolutely phenomenal experience increased my self-confidence and self-worth 1,000 times. And I have no fucking idea how and why this happened. I don't think something like this will ever happen again. After the cruise, me returning to South Africa, we tried to stay in touch, but the distance, my frantic life, time zones, and my ADHD led us to losing contact. I do feel really bad because I contributed the most to the contact being lost, He even got teary-eyed when I said goodbye to him on the cruise before we went our separate ways, which makes me feel like the bad guy that caused the blooming relationship to die. I hope he doesn't feel any resentment towards me. I recently saw somewhere on social media that he's happily married now, and I wish him all the best. Could you imagine going on a cruise and having, like, this fever dream of a relationship that honestly sounds pretty weirdly romantic?
I don't know. I'm not that exciting. Like, this sounds like a whirlwind, like a romantic comedy on Netflix or something.
No, this sounds exactly like the script of Titanic.
To a D.
I gotta tell you, though,
There was definitely room on that door for the two of them.
I didn't see this going the direction that it went when you told us
Right?
like, briefly about what this story was. Like, I didn't realize there was so much romance involved.
I
Yeah.
know, because he said, basically, he's like, I had a fever dream romance, and I kind of expected it when I said, tell us more of the story, I want to read it. I expected it more to be like, we had sex a lot, and we really just connected, and the spark was there, and then, you know, we were done, and I forgot about him. But it was genuinely like, can we help you find him again? I know he's married, but maybe it was just settling.
Also, his family. Like, that's wild that his
What's
family
that
was on
like?
the same cruise ship. Like, I'm trying to think of who his parents would be if I were doing a game of recast.
I just like
Jamie Lee Curtis, Tim... No, I'm kidding.
I was thinking of the parents from Easy A, Stanley Tucci and then the mom. They're like super laid back and cool and whatever.
yeah.
Oh, I would watch it just for that.
I'm adopted. What? Who told you?
And then whenever he knocks on the cabin door and the mom answers it, and she's like, "Oh, darling, there's a suitor here for you."
Yeah. Like, it had to be with this crazy cruise and whatever was all going on. Like, it
so
doesn't
much
even sound like it was a
happening.
gay cruise. It was just a gay, like, events happening on a cruise, but not a gay cruise. You know?
Yeah.
This is wild.
Yeah, it was
I'm-
really kind of a good story. Like, the first time I read it, I was kind of like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously.
How romantic.
Damn. Well, you know, polyamory exists. Like, maybe he and his husband are... You never know.
And
then
maybe
you can
they're
be
not.
Prince Philip.
But then the moment you come in, they're like, I mean, we have to. It's like our dream.
I mean, that happens.
Man. So, I don't know. I still kind of support it. Go to LA. We will not fund the tickets because we don't have the funds for it, but we'll watch the story.
Go to
We will follow the
AmericanAirlines.com
story.
and use code BEARDS20 to get absolutely nothing off your
Get
flight.
no discount, and to get a notice that says this code is invalid, and then book it.
And show up 20 minutes before the flight boards and get a Jamba Juice.
No.
No. If you're booking, or if you are checking a bag, at least be there 40 minutes early.
Oh my God.
Actually, I don't know what airports are like in wherever I can't get things right. Cape Cod. No, I'm kidding. Cape Town, South Africa. Their airports.
Yes. Scenic Cape Cod, South Africa.
What's so annoying is even when I kept reading it, I was like, oh, Cape Cod, Cape Town. I was like, you have to remember that it's Cape Town. It's very easy to remember. So, of course, as we're recording, I screw it up. So
Jay's like, oh yeah, Martha's Vineyard, where Martha Stewart lives. That place for sure.
Martha's Vineyard. Is it all wine?
Oh my God.
Well, speaking of horrible geographic locations and whirlwind romances on cruise ships, do you guys think it's time for a commercial?
I do think it's time for a commercial.
And now, coming to a theater near you, Easy D, a tale of a whirlwind cruise ship romance.
A tale of a cruise ship romance.
You hump, I hump.
remember? Based on a completely fabricated modern story of the sinking of the largest cruise ship in the world.
She's the largest ship in the world. She's iconic.
Starring Leonardo DiFagrio, Kate Wingstop, and Kathy Bader. I'm rich and also down to earth, which will make me much more likable than the other rich people in this film. Coming to theaters March 5th is Easy D, the modern love story brought to you by James Cam 4.
I just met you, and our next stop I want to get off with you, because I want to leave my rich fiancé, whom I'm marrying for only money. We've had such a fever dream of an experience in those first 6 hours of this cruise while I've been binge drinking, and I love you too. Oh, random stranger, I just love you so much. Like I could hang off the back of a sinking ship with you, I love you that much. And if we were out in the middle of a freezing cold ocean, barely hanging on to something floating that for years people will debate if it's a door, I would let you on and stay in the water, and you would definitely not let me die.
This story will have you wanting to book a cruise immediately because you also want to experience a love story as chaotic as this.
Thank God, due to climate change, there's no icebergs out here anymore. Oh my God, is that a trash pile ahead of us? This ship can withstand anything but trash piles. We're surely gonna sink now.
And now you'll get to watch the ego of man be tested and proven wrong, where this massive ship will sink while simultaneously watching a 6-hour new love story be tested. Will they make it off the ship with plenty of lifeboats?
We're on the back of the ship right as it's about to plunge, and I just realized I don't even know your name. It's easy to remember. It's D. Oh, Easy D. If we don't make it, I love you. Here's a big chunky heart necklace I stole.
Brought to you by Paramount Me Pictures. Easy D. It's the love story that will make you cry, but mostly reflect on how it seems like a gay, tacky ripoff of Titanic. In theaters, March 5th.
Hey guys, make sure you follow and subscribe to our podcast so you can receive a notification every Sunday when a new episode drops.
That movie was so good.
Wish I had eye drops. I'd be like, yeah, I'm crying too.
Go get your eye drops.
I don't have eye drops.
Oh.
Oh man, if you haven't seen Easy D, definitely worth the watch. It's only 6 hours.
And don't worry, I mean, you can add 2 hours on if you want to watch the director's cut.
Well, if you're like me, you've seen plenty of hard D, but it's definitely time for you to sit down and watch some Easy D.
And don't skip over the part where they're in the bathhouse and they really fog it up when they're in the sling. Anyways.
Just cover your kids' eyes like my mom did during
my
the scene
God.
in Titanic. That's not at all similar.
And his mom, and she did the same thing. She covered our eyes.
Yeah. I remember we had to cover our eyes, but it's after the ship sank and all the bodies are bobbing in the water frozen, and my dad's like, "Are you seeing this?"
Yeah, I remember distinctly
You sank
watching
the ship, but not the bodies.
the
Iceberg right ahead.
This iceberg is clean.
It's your men out there. Grab an oar, ladies.
The unsinkable Zelba Rubinstein. Start from the end and work your way in.
Why do they always have to announce dinner like a damn cavalry? She waddles down the... I kind of
Just
want to
them
put her in Rose's.
spinning back and around.
I just want to put her in Rose's place, though. Like, she jumps back off the lifeboat onto the ship, and she gets in Jack's arms, and he's like, "You're so stupid, Rose!" And she's like, "You jump, I jump. Remember?"
All right. Good.
Anthony, I can't believe you participated in nothing and just sat there and judged us. You're the one who invented this joke in the first place.
It's depressing women.
I guess it was just, I was so thrown off by the fact that, Joe, this whole recording, every time you and I have gone off on any little bit of a tangent, it's been just sitting there like this.
It's every time a movie remake happens. It's time for Zelda. Bring her on out.
The second we talk about Zelda Rubinstein, he's just like, whoa.
That would be Jay's
derail.
character on Snatch Game.
Oh my gosh.
Anyways.
The worst part about it is my brain just keeps finding new scenes to put her in. It's just fantastic.
Do you have any Beardo submitted sundries?
Yes,
Yeah,
in Cape
let's
Cod.
move on to that, please.
John sent me a text this morning that, here it is. At an hour, 16
Hi,
minutes,
John.
and 22 seconds, in your gay science episode, Joe claims that E.T. was directed by Steven Spielberg. Who's Steven Spielberg?
I'm glad somebody said something about that. Because I remember thinking it whenever he said it during the recording, and I was like, I'm not going to correct him.
I know, and John he's like, both of you let it by, and I was like, I don't know Anthony's excuse, but I know I stumble a lot when I talk, so I have no room to criticize, but when it happened, I was like...
I did want to say something, but I can't tell you, John, the number of times we've done these podcast recordings and we get closer to the end and like I have been drinking during the recording. And so I'm like reiterating like, especially at the outro where I'm just like, I get 2 sentences in and I'm like, fuck. And then I do it again and do it again and do it again. And so I don't know. It just didn't seem like that big of a deal at the time. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to let this one slide.
That's usually what it is. It just doesn't seem like that big of a mix-up for me to restart the entire paragraph, so I usually just let it go.
Yeah, I'm like, you guys just deal with it. I'm going to stumble through it. You know, we're going to Cape Cod, South Africa, final.
Actually, You know what? Actually, John, you've never heard of Steven Spielberg? That's exactly who directed E.T. Just gaslight him. He won't know any better.
Yeah, if that's not who directed it, then why don't you correct us on your podcast?
Yeah.
or leave us a voicemail.
Ooh, that's a brilliant idea.
And just so you know, Steven Spielberg is just Steven Spielberg in a wig the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, they're the same person? I never knew.
Yeah.
I've never seen them in the same room at the same time.
Both of them unzip, and it's Zelda Rubinstein.
Oh my god.
The truth is revealed. That's about far enough, Jay.
No, your line is, he did it. The son of a bitch did it.
I'm not going to put her in Jurassic Park scenes. That's for another episode. All right, moving on.
We should just do an episode of Zelda Rubinstein movies that she should be in.
Yep.
Actually, he sent 2 emails. So the first one is, as I'm finishing up the last of my homemade potato soup, it reminded me of several of the recipes that you guys have shared on the pod. Have you ever given any thought to creating a Beards and Sundries cookbook? Which we have talked about this because somebody else wanted us to make a pinup cookbook.
Yeah, you sluts.
Yeah.
Confirmed. Bunch of slut listeners.
The 3 of us, like, we probably could throw together a cookbook.
Honestly, we could. But you're only getting my shitty recipes because I'm not giving my best.
Joe's Meaty Mac.
The slut
Joe's
burger.
Chef Boyardee a la can.
I'll take a slut burger. And then a second email. romantic. And his second email was, here are a few more, because it was titled, I'm gay, and of course. I'm gay. Of course I own Hoochie Daddy shorts. Inspired by Anthony's shorts when he hiked up his leg to show his socks last week.
I
aren't my Hoochie
knew
Daddy
someone was going to
shorts,
mention
but-
that.
Yeah.
I'm
I thought
a gay
about
man.
that too because I rewatched that part and I was like, wow, my thigh is out.
It's also very bright, Anthony. Lit up the room.
It's
That's
winter.
fair too. It's like that during the summer too. I don't have an excuse.
I know. The same. Pale as shit over here. I'm a gay man. Of course I have a bidet and or shower shot in my bathroom.
I have both.
Yep.
I'm a gay man. Of course I grew up worshipping a female singer as my personal savior. Madonna, Cher, Dolly, Kylie, Janet, Gaga, Rihanna.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't think that
I'm a gay
happened
man.
as much for me.
Yeah, I didn't go crazy for him. I mean, I did like Gaga, I guess, but anyways, moving on. I'm a gay man. Of course I have downloaded, deleted, and re-downloaded the apps. I'm a
I
gay
keep
man.
them, I just never open them.
Oh, yeah, I got rid of them forever ago. I'm a gay man. Of course I do, or have, dressed for style over comfort. These Prada slippers are killing me, but they look fabulous.
Prada slippers.
Oh my god, are those?
I'm a gay man. Of course I have purchased at least one car in my lifetime that I couldn't afford.
I don't think I've
I'm
done
trying to
that.
think. Have I ever done that yet?
One that I just couldn't afford?
I
don't
mean,
think
there's
so.
some that I could have
I'm-
probably toned it down, but
I'm
Oh,
putting it in the
you know what?
vein at...
I take
I'm
that
putting
back.
it in
The
the vein-
BMW.
Yeah, I was going to say the BMW. I'm putting it in the vein as I bought a car that I didn't want to pay that high of a payment for, so I got rid of that car and then got a car with a lower payment.
That
To
makes
be
sense.
fair,
I haven't done
I
that,
was-
though.
I was a dual income house at the time that I purchased the BMW, and then we split, and I didn't keep it. I let him take it. So, but it was my car, technically, that on my own, while yes, I can make the payments, I would have been cutting out a lot of my life. For example, electricity, food.
You don't need that. You
Organs.
have a BMW.
I'll be impressive and thin, and I'll never have to
And
worry
dead.
about being electrocuted.
Just live off of whatever food gets brought to you in the office. Squirrel it away.
Cut out,
Now
you can cut
I
out your
for sure
kidneys,
would.
just like the Academy cut out Greta Gerwig.
Oh my gosh, that's right.
I was wondering if that was going to get brought up in this episode.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that happened.
it was. But don't worry, Ryan Gosling got a nomination.
Of course. A lot of people messaged us this week asking if we've ever heard of the documentary Do I Sound Gay? After our episode last week about gay science.
No, I've never
I
heard
don't
of
think
that.
I have.
Yeah, it's like a guy that goes through and I don't know
It's-
many of the details, but it sounds like a guy that's basically kind of like making fun of the fact that all gays sound
We
gay.
sound gay.
Yeah.
So,
Is he
Beards
gay?
and Sundries? Yes, I have heard of it.
It's
Is
a
the
documentary.
documentarian gay, or
It's
is he
this
like
show.
Is
Oh,
this
yes.
like? Oh, okay. I was like, is it homophobic or what's the deal here?
Okay, based off of what I saw on it, yes, but we should probably check it out before I go any further.
This is true. Okay.
And then we've had a lot of comments lately about how funny the past few episodes have been. And then lastly, we heard from Jason,
Hi, Jason.
Jason?
and he said 6 months ago, no homosexuals knew anything about football. And yet now, thanks to Taylor Swift and her army, they have discovered that football exists. And that would have been new information they cared about briefly, were it not for their subsequent and inevitable discovery of Jason Kelsey. And now every gay I know is posting shirtless pics of him on their stories. And yes, we all want to impregnate or be impregnated by him. There needs to be a word for this social phenomenon. The thirst is real.
I was gonna say, ironically, speaking of Jason, that picture and short video of Jason Kelsey like roaring with his shirt off and jumping out that window is everywhere right now. I cannot escape it. Now, do I like to watch it? Yeah, sure. But it's literally everywhere right now.
It's already worn me out. I'm bored with it.
I was excited about it this morning, and then by the time it hit this afternoon, I'm tired of it. And I think that's the first time I've really encountered it. But, like, I guess what really gets me about it is, like, this is just some guy who, like, none of us are ever going to have sex with him, right? Like, it's just not going to happen for anyone.
Hey, you don't know that.
Fast forward,
I know we like to
2 months
imagine
from now,
it.
and Joe's, like, right under him.
But you know what? I support this. As long as you record it. Or
Jay's gonna be like, no, we did the wrong bingo card.
Anthony's looking through this window with his hand on the brick of the house outside of it, and he's like, what is it like, Joe?
This house
I'm gonna have my hand on the brick too.
This house is not clean.
But I guess what really gets me about it is there's so many gay guys in the community who look like that we could be objectifying just as much, but like are actually gay and out there and like putting themselves out there, not just be thirst traps. And I'm not gonna high horse this because I don't give a shit. Like, it's super attractive. He is hot, but I don't know. I guess part of me is like, yeah, you're really hot, but like, I don't know. Beardos, can you help to define what it is that I'm feeling here? Because I can't quite put it into words in the way that I think that I want to.
I think that it's fun and a fun little joke and all the posts are funny. I think it's going to go away really fast. Like, by the time this episode's out, it's going to be way in the rearview mirror. So I'm really not that worried about it anymore.
But I also talk about this quite a bit with some of my friends because, like, I don't get obsessed or infatuated with any famous person to be like, I have to idolize this for a bit, even if it's for a short amount of time. I don't ever do that with anyone famous.
What's really funny is we have this like friend / acquaintance that we met, who lives in Oklahoma City, who looks a lot like him.
He does.
It's wild because I've just been like, oh my God, I didn't realize it. Like, I didn't put it together until I saw people like saying stuff on his Facebook, and I was like, you do look a lot like him. Wow, that's wild.
And so people are like telling him that should be his Halloween costume. And like, on the one hand, I'm like, yeah, that'd be pretty cool to see. But then on the other hand, I'm like, by the time Halloween gets here, it's going to be so irrelevant that no one's going to get it.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, you're just some gay guy who's not wearing a shirt, which is every other gay guy doing a Halloween costume.
Atlanta ass and tits? What? Oh, good costume, I guess.
He points at his mouse ears and he's like, I'm a mouse. Duh.
God. No, I can think it was that SNL skit where it's Eddie Bryant and Vanessa Bayer.
It was so hard to find shoes that matched, and then she's dragging them down the street and trying to put them on. And, like,
think it's going
on the pizza.
It keeps like flashing back to them before they go out. It's like, I don't even think I'm going to drink tonight. And then it's like them at 2 a.m.
Well, and then the cheese is always my favorite part because she's just like, you can be a mouse too if you want to be. And she goes, no, I like being the cheese. And then all of a sudden it flashes forward and she's like, why'd you guys make me the cheese? You always leave me out. I love that skit. And then I love how they even like do the side characters because there's like the pizza shop owner and he's like hanging little
putting up
on
the
his window. He's like,
stickers.
ooh, spooky. And then it flashes back to the scene where they're drunk and they're like running through the glass window and he's like, every
Spraying
year.
them with the hose.
And it's Bobby Moynihan.
Oh, God. That's definitely a top skit for me on that show.
Zelda Rubinstein. This pizza parlor is clean.
God.
Anyways, thank you, Jason, for bringing that up. I don't know why I get weird mixed feelings about that. That feels like something I could high horse if I wanted to, but for absolutely no reason.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing productive about it. I think about it. I'm like, well, I mean, it's not hurting anybody. So
Are there any more sundries?
I'm out of sundries, but does anybody have something to check out?
I do this week for once. Well, Beardos, we've been traveling all over the place from Santa Fe, New Mexico, where there's turquoise, to the fields of whatever football field that was that Jason Kels was on. Travis Kelsey, I don't know. I can never even pronounce their names. Anyways, we've been lots of places. But if you, like me, don't have any vacation time and aren't going to be going anywhere anytime soon, well, I guess up until March, but you still want to get out, I recommend you check out a game that is called Pal World. Now, Pal World is available on Xbox Game Pass for free right now, or you can download it on Steam. It's currently 10% off. The game is in beta, so it is not a fully realized game. However, most people have been describing it as Pokemon with guns, and that's pretty much exactly what it is. If you've ever played any sort of survival crafting game, that mechanic is in the game. So you harvest resources, you craft, you have resource management, but you also catch pals, not Pokemon, pals. And you can use them to battle, but you can also use them at your base to help like build and manufacture things. You catch them with a pal sphere, not a Pokeball, a pal sphere. I've been playing this for just a couple of days now because a friend recommended it to me, and I gotta tell you, it's a lot of fun. I didn't think it was going to be as fun as it is. It is distinct enough from Pokemon that it adds like more layers of mechanics to the game that you're not going to get from a Pokemon game, which includes guns. Like you can get literal guns. Like I showed Joe the other day that I shot this one pal, not a Pokemon, a pal with a crossbow.
It just fell face forward, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
It didn't die. It's got the swirly eyes. It's not dead.
Yeah.
There's this juxtaposition of the art style, which is very cute and cartoony and adorable, with, I mean, guns. I just literally guns. You get this one penguin pal that you can give a rocket launcher to. I mean, what is not to love about this? So, Beardos, if you want to travel to a whole new world without leaving your couch, I recommend Pal World.
Nice. Thanks, Anthony.
Yeah, you're welcome. But now that we've gone to Pal World and back, do you guys think it's game time?
I think it's time to go to Game World.
I think so.
Jay, what do you got this week?
All right, this week we're going to do the travel alphabet game. What we're going to do is I'm going to list off a letter, and you, the first person to give me a country that starts with that letter, will get the point.
A country? Okay.
Mm-hmm. A country?
Okay.
Yeah. And I have a couple that I'm going to give bonus points because there's only like a couple countries that could match it, and they're pretty hard to remember. But if somebody thinks of one, I'll give you a bonus point for it. So, Are you ready?
I think so.
Sure.
All right. A.
Albania.
Argentina.
I heard Albania first, which is a country. So Anthony gets the point. Also, listeners, tell us what yours were. If you got them right, I'm kidding. All right. B.
Bolivia.
Belarus.
Ooh, Bolivia. Joe, look at you. We're going to do... Oh, actually, I could tell you as I'm going. So A, there's actually 12 countries that start with A.
Oh, okay.
For B, there's 20 countries that start with B. And for C, there's 20 countries
Chile.
that start with B. That is...
Oh, you said C.
Are you just going to go
Yeah,
in,
I said
like,
that is.
alphabetic order?
Yeah, I'm just going to go in... Oh, I guess I could mix it
Yeah.
up so it's not so predictable.
I was going
Thank
to say,
you.
because
I'm sitting here.
I was
like indexing them in my.
I know.
brain.
I was like, wait a minute. This isn't going to be so easy. I'm sorry. All right, let's do H.
Hungry.
Holland.
Hungary.
Damn it.
H has 8
Just go with what you know.
Let's do... Let's do S.
Sierra Leone.
Is that what?
Sudan.
Oh, yes.
Sierra Leone isn't a region. Yeah, why
I was
did my
like-
brain shut? You said Sierra Leone and my whole brain shut off. Sierra Leone is a region.
I was sitting there like, that doesn't sound right. But yes, Sudan is. Also...
Or perhaps South Africa.
Oh, God.
I was actually
come I
waiting for
couldn't think
somebody
of
to
that
do
at
that one. S has 26 different countries starting with an S, so...
There's got to be so many, and my brain just did not want to give me any of them.
Well, also think of like Switzerland, Sweden,
Yeah.
Sri
I
Lanka,
know.
Spain,
Oh, they're all there now.
Somalia.
I didn't have
Yeah,
access to
Serbia.
them whenever it mattered. Yeah.
Well, now you understand where my brain goes when I'm in these questions. I'm just like...
Yeah, it was like behind this wall, and I couldn't get past it.
Let's do... G.
Georgia.
Germany.
Georgia. G has 12 countries, so you had 1 and 12. Yeah. T.
Thailand.
Timbuktu.
Thailand.
That was a good knee-jerk reaction.
13 countries that start with T. Let's do... I'm going to throw a little difficult one at you. F.
Finland.
France.
Yes.
Damn it.
Yes. But it's because there's only 3 countries, but I'm like, 2 of those are super easy. Oh, actually,
What's the
no, there's
third
4.
one?
Sorry. There's 4 countries, because there's Fiji,
Oh.
and then
Oh.
they also claim the
okay.
federal government of Germany.
What? What? No, that
And I'm just
No,
like,
it's
that's why
Germany.
I wrote down 3.
Yeah.
Look at you guys. You're tied 4-4 right now.
Don't say that.
P.
Paraguay.
Peru.
Paraguay. There's 11 for P. M.
Macedonia.
Madagascar.
I think you're going to be right, because Macedonia is an old country, and it's not there anymore, but my brain was screaming.
Yeah, I
it.
was like, it's not on my list.
Oh.
It's not. No, it's not there anymore. It doesn't exist.
But Madagascar is, and I'm kind of shocked nobody went with Mexico.
Yeah, Madagascar's. I didn't think about Mexico. Also,
I didn't either.
C could have been Canada. We're really overcomplicating this.
C could have been China.
Oh man, that's actually why I kind of like this game, because I was like, you're gonna make it harder than it actually can be at some
Yep.
points.
I know, all the time.
Let's do E.
Egypt.
Ecuador.
I heard Egypt just barely fast.
Damn it! It's this fucking time delay from my office.
You get it now. Let's do K.
Kazakhstan.
Kazakhstan.
Wow. Joe got you first on that one. What the fuck? Sorry, must be that delay. R.
Rwanda.
Rwanda.
I like how you guys chose that over Russia.
Oh, well.
But Anthony got it. There's 6 for R, which you'd think there's going to be more, but...
Yeah, I know. That seems like something you'd have more of. But anyways.
Yeah. U.
Uruguay.
Anthony just barely ahead on that one.
Fuck, really? Okay.
Yeah,
Could have been
just
United States
barely.
of America.
Could have been the United Kingdom. Ukraine.
I had Uruguay in my pocket from after Paraguay.
I did too, actually, yeah.
D.
Denmark.
Ah, fuck.
Nice.
Damn it. Denmark is what I wanted to say, but my brain was like, Delaware, 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 Delaware. And I was like, no, brain, no.
Oh, man. I know I probably would have gone with Dominican Republic or something like that.
So wordy, though.
I know,
Yeah, exactly.
but... And I'd stumble through it. You know what? Cape Cod. I.
Indonesia.
Ooh. You were both spot on for me on that.
Who finished their word first?
Oh, that, shut the fuck up.
You know what? I'm gonna play the rule of last time, and you both get a point because it was at the same time.
Okay.
Finish their word first. You start, just go, idiot. I said it. Who said? I said it. Just because you didn't understand it doesn't mean anything.
Let's try. That's gonna be I think I'm gonna make that a specialty one. Let's try. In
Norway.
Nigeria.
Norway.
Damn it.
Joe got it faster.
I hate to pull the J card. I really think there is like a slight delay.
Oh god, it's
But I
so
keep thinking
weird
when I
we're-
get it wrong.
It's so weird when we're losing how that happens, isn't it? I just happen to be the one that loses.
It only happens when I lose.
Let's do V.
Venezuela.
Anthony just a smidge ahead. I can't wait until
That's
Joe's
so-
editing and he's like plays it back to us and he's like, I was ahead.
I finished saying Venezuela and then I heard Anthony start saying it. So this is it's
See,
weird.
I was in the middle of the word when you started saying it.
Boy,
These be better games for the live podcast.
this internet
Don't
seems really
be so
reliable.
bitter. I'm about 100% sure you're winning right now.
Oh man, did we just do V? Is that what that was?
Yeah, yep.
Sorry, I already forgot. Let's do... Oh, I think I'm only down to 2 that I have left that I'm not going to make bonus rounds. Let's do J.
Jakarta.
Jamaica.
Jakarta is not on
Damn
the
it.
list, but Jamaica is.
Damn.
Oh, okay. Jakarta. What is Jakarta, like a town? I thought you got that one, but
It was a gamble.
what is Jakarta? It
Good
sounds
gamble,
so
though.
familiar now. Yeah. Okay.
This is the last one before a bonus. And we'll do L.
Lebanon.
Lebanon, Anthony. All right. So, I'm going to do 4 letters that are a bonus, and I'm going to do 2 points apiece on those. If
Okay.
nobody can guess one within, 10 seconds, then nobody gets a point.
Okay.
And I'll just tell you what it is. All right. Let's do... Oh, do you want to hear your points before we go into this, or do you want
Nope.
it to be a surprise?
No, I actually don't want to know.
Okay. Bonus question for O.
I've been trying to think of one the entire time.
Ontario. No, that's not a country.
It's a
That's
province.
yeah, I know.
Because I have Quebec in my head for that same reason.
Yeah.
10 seconds is up.
Oh,
That was 10
Oman.
seconds?
Oman.
Oman?
Oman.
Oman.
Oman. Is that how it's pronounced? Oman?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you said Ullman. I was like, Tracy Ullman? She has her
Tracy
own
Ullman.
country. And shit
Makes
starts
sense.
with a U.
She was on HBO forever. All right. Next bonus question. Q.
Cool.
Quebec.
I know, that's what my brain says too, but that's not right. Oh, Qatar.
Yes.
That's right.
Nice. It's the only one, too.
Is it the only one? I guess that makes sense.
It's the only Q on the list. There is no country that starts with X. I should have done that and been like, tell me. And you'd be like, no. Let's do W.
What? Surely we've gone past it.
10 seconds.
Yeah, what?
So it's technically
Oh, don't give me
the recognition,
technically.
diplomatic, and consular relations with Württemberg. Wurttemberg. I knew that one wasn't going to be anything, so I was like, nobody's going to miss a point.
Okay.
All right, 2 more. Z.
Zaire.
Zimbabwe.
What'd you say, Joe?
Zaire.
Oh.
Zaire.
I said Zimbabwe.
Really?
Zimbabwe is
I've been
correct.
holding on to that the entire game.
How'd you spell it, Joe?
It's a country. Zaire. It's in Congo.
The use of Congo seems to
Congo
replace...
is the
yeah,
country.
Congo is what replaced it. Oh.
Zaire officially, the Republic of Zaire was the name of the Democratic Republic of Congo from 1971 to 1997.
But it's not a country anymore.
Classified on this as a country.
So mine's classified as in it was a country from a certain range, but Congo is now in its place.
Huh. Okay.
But Anthony did say Zimbabwe, which is, as of today...
So then, Yemen for Y.
Shut the fuck up. Like a little lady, baby. Was it going to be Y? Was it going to be Yemen? I'm so upset.
I mean, yes, Y was
One.
the last one. Yeah, so
I mean,
I'm going to
Yemen,
give Anthony
that's it, right?
the Zimbabwe just because it's still an accurate country at this time. But you know what, Joe? I'm going to give you Yemen. Because you guessed it
No thanks.
before.
See me going back to my mother in Yemen like a little lady, baby.
The funniest part about the whole thing was that I was thinking Zimbabwe, but I was like, no, Zaire. It's like, you can say it faster.
I forgot about Zaire. But hey,
Apparently so
you
did
guys
the Congo.
You guys did really well because with bonus points and all, Anthony has 15 and Joe, you got 12.
Yeah. Well, good job, Anthony.
Thank
You guys
That
did
was a tough
really.
one. Ooh.
That was pretty close together.
Yeah.
And fuck you, Wuttenberg.
Württemberg.
Wartburger.
Wartburg, stupid fake country.
Yeah, fuck you,
I don't like your
Whataburger.
Wartburger. I love Whataburger, but not Wartburger.
More people know about Zaire than know about you.
It's not even a real country anymore.
I just laughed because I was like, God, why does Zaire sound so familiar? And I'm like, but it's not on the list.
It's when
Fuck
you
your
said
list.
it, I was like, oh damn, Zaire! I forgot about Zaire. And then I started looking at it, and like, yeah, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, also known as Congo Kinshasa, DRC, DR Congo, or simply the Congo, and known from 1971 to 1997 as Zaire.
Well, so while we were children, Zaire was around. So it makes sense, Joe. You're just stuck in the past.
Yeah,
I should have made that part of my quiz from last week for 1997, and then I would have known for this week. Damn.
but that's the thing is that you only went to 1996.
Let's go back in time real quick. Okay, so this year is when Zaire was no longer a
1997.
country. Oh, you got it.
Yeah, fuck
Actually,
you,
it was through
Anthony.
1997, so 1998.
1998. I still
See,
beat him on the
Beardos,
delay.
none of the points actually matter.
This is starting to sound like whose line is it anyways?
Oh
the
my
points
God.
don't matter.
Roll the music.
Anyways, I think I hear the music coming back on, and it's playing
Yay!
the national anthem for that long ago country, Zaire.
I can hear it all the way back in 1997.
But not
Rest in
1998. Anyways, go call our hotline real quick and leave us a message. That number is 405-999-2242.
Weirdos, it's time for us to retract our landing gear and prepare for a crash landing. So, this week's lunch break is officially over. But if you'd like to go help us out, go and subscribe to our podcast so you can get reminders every Sunday when we release a new episode. We also post frequent updates on all of our social media sites for any additional sundries that we add to the market.
And don't forget to head over to traveladvisor.com and rate us 5 stars and leave a review. But really, go leave us 5 stars and leave a review. Those reviews are what get us found by more listeners like you. Also, we'd love it if you could tell a friend about the podcast. Each one of you telling just one friend about the pod would help us double our growth.
And book your web browser to our website, beardsandsundries.com, and check out our content. It's like traveling somewhere weird because I made the website and it's wonky. Anyways, also check us out on Threads, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. We'd love to hear from you. You can also email us at beardsandsundries@gmail.com.
So, Beardos, from Cape Cod to Cape Town and everywhere in between, make sure to
Love a random stranger on a cruise ship and yourself.
Because we have already loved a random stranger on every cruise ship.
And you.
And you. Bye, Beardo.
Bye.
take your prep.
This podcast is clean.